Good morning. Right at the summit of Paulson. It's a little foggy up here. Paulson Summit, 15,000 meters. Yeah, if you don't know this, you don't realize there's a deceivingly sharp corner here, and those guys were over the yellow line. We've lost the Setco truck around this corner due to, well, it was in the middle of winter and icy roads. These corners, you don't want to go faster on these corners on icy roads. It's kind of beautiful up here. Don't see it in the fog like this very often. It's pretty much lunchtime. It's 11:30. I'll make myself a sandwich here at the brake check. Deceiving how quick the brake check's going to come up on me. Make sure I slow down a little earlier than I think I need to. I'm one corner early. Brake checks around the next corner. Definitely getting thinner here, so it's nice. I kind of like the Paulson in fog. It's, see it from a different viewpoint. Oh, good, they fixed up the potholes. Now that pickup and that trailer, depending what the weight is registered, should probably have to legally stop here at the brake check. I'm not 100% sure though. for all the cars to come by. Don't want them behind me anyway. So today morning, well, let's start with yesterday. So yesterday when I loaded in Spokane, that other Sutco driver I was talking about, I passed in because he pulled over at a gas station to use the facilities. So we pulled into the yard exactly at the same time. Well, he was right behind me. Pulled into the yard. They've got 5 loading spots on that yard, so we both got a spot next to each other. And they started loading him before me, even though he came in after me. But there's RV go. And he's starting to strap down his load. And they started loading me shortly after. And he looks at me because I wasn't strapping down my load. Instead, I pulled out my tarp and started unrolling my tarp, and he just goes, "You're gonna tarp before strapping?" I'm like, "Yep." He already had 4 straps thrown and tightened. I just go, "Tomorrow, or today morning, I'll be overnight. I sleep at the customer's yard." And he goes, "He'll be doing the same thing." I'm like, "If the straps are over the load or over the tarps, I can undo all of my straps in the evening when I get to the destination, roll up all the straps, leave the tarps on because it's going to be raining, leave the tarps on, take most of the bungees off the tarp in the morning. As soon as the customer arrives, I can start undoing the last of the bungees and then pull the tarp off as he's unloading me. Makes the customer happier and makes it easier for me. Because if you have to undo all the tarps and then take your straps off while it was raining, which it was, it's going to damage all that product in that rain. It was raining pretty hard, and concrete bags, it would damage some of that. I'd get water damage. This way, it's more efficient for me and better for the customer. Looks at me and goes, "I'm doing the same thing." Took his straps off, rolled them all up, and then unrolled his tarp. He's a new driver to Sutco. It's like, I'm still teaching people things. life. Always plan, plan, plan. What do I need to do today to make my life tomorrow easier? Or make the customer happier? Unloaded, I headed to Glesnikov, just north of Castlegar. Obviously I wasn't the first truck because I pulled in at 8, and he must have had trucks before me. At least I'm assuming. But when I pulled in, there was no other trucks there. It's like perfect timing, pull in, got loaded right away. By the time I was loaded, there was 3 trucks waiting behind me. So if I had been a couple of minutes later, I would have had to wait there for a long time. That was perfect timing. And after that, I'm like, oh, we got some spare time today because of how convenient and everything is working out. Remember I was going to stop in the shop on Tuesday and that didn't work out? It's like, today is the day then. Stop at the Bill's Heavy Duty in Castlegar, right next to the airport. Bill's Heavy Duty, my review on them, still the same since the first day I've gone there till now, still always the same review. They are not fast. They will service your vehicle. It'll take a little while. It took almost 2 hours to just fix a little airline, 2 little airlines. They're not fast. But dang it, every single time I go there, they fix it right the first time. And they fix things that other shops have trouble fixing. They do it right. So I will never complain that they're not the fastest to get to the vehicle. Because I would rather have the truck fixed right the first time than have it fixed fast, because if you fix it fast and don't do it right the first time, I'm in the shop down the road again trying to get it fixed there, which is actually a lot slower. You have to stop multiple times. So I'm always very happy with Bill's Heavy Duty, the work they do. But yeah, they found the air leaks. One of them was just such a small little air leak. I'm like, well, while I'm here, let's get that fixed right away too. And the other one was an audible air leak, you could hear it. But the one you could hear, that one was obvious, they fixed that one quickly, and the one that they couldn't hear, it took them a while to figure exactly where it was. I knew within a couple of inches where it was. I just didn't know which hose, because whenever the truck is soaking wet and the hoses are just right, you can hear it bubbling. And so I crawled underneath there and found out where it was, and took a little while to search it with soapy water, and goes, there it is, and replaced that hose too. Nothing wrong with the truck now. Which is awesome. The rear trailer does have a very, very, very minor defect, and that is the license plate is faded and the numbers are hard to read. If CVSE pulls me over and does a full inspection, that's one thing they'll mention to get it fixed. But I think they'd be hard pressed to find much else wrong with this truck and trailer. They spend 2 hours going through the truck, while I spend about 15 minutes going through the truck, so they will find more than I do. Yeah, when you get a full level 2 inspection, it takes about 2 hours. I think they'd be hard pressed to find anything serious on the truck. I'm very confident that they would find nothing serious on the truck, but they might find some really minor stuff that I missed. There's some rocks over there on the other side. They must have gone all the way over. So we're headed to Richmond. The goal is to sleep on Mitchell Island tonight, and hopefully on one of the first trucks there. I would actually prefer to be truck number 3. That would be my preference, to be truck number 3 tomorrow morning to unload. Why not truck number 1? Simply because the way Setco does their dispatches. I don't get my dispatch until they see I'm unloaded. The way Setco does that is you have so many trucks and so many chances of broken down trucks or truck drivers later than expected. They don't give me my dispatch until the next morning, and that way they can give the truck driver that's there first the most important dispatch, the load that's the most important to get delivered. Because of that, I won't get my next dispatch until shortly after 7. Modern will start unloading at 6:30 in the morning. So if I can get 2 trucks unloaded before me, it'd be about perfect timing to be unloaded right as they're thinking of sending me my next dispatch. So what I often do is I pull in, even if I'm truck number 1, I pull in a location that it'd be easy for the other truck drivers to get around me or park differently so that they can scoop me. And And then in the evening, I'll wait for other truck drivers to show up. Before going to bed, I'm like, oh, truck driver showed up. Jump out and go talk to him. And I tell them, hey, in the morning, when they open the gate at 6:30, just scoop me. Just pull right around me and pull in. And the second truck driver shows up, I'm like, I'm going to go talk to him too. Just so you know, the driver there in front of you is going to scoop me, and I want you to scoop me too. No, it's okay. I'm like, no, I really want you to scoop me. Would it be nice to have the dispatch the day ahead? Yeah, it would be awesome, but it is what it is. We'll see. I'm guessing I'll get there around 8:30, 9, in that range. Pretty much it for the Paulson. It's kind of neat. I had no intention of shooting video on top of the Paulson, but the fog, I'm like, that's just beautiful. I gotta get that on video. And then I kept talking and I didn't shut up, so we might as well get Christina Lake in here as we come around that corner. And then I'll catch up with you guys down the road somewhere. I know I shoot the Paulson quite often because I just enjoy this pass. RV thought he was faster than me. When it comes down to the flat, he's slower than me. Happens all the time. Leapfrogging in the same RV all day long. It happens. Hours down the road, you're still leapfrogging in the same RV. As soon as you get the wide open flat, they're going 80 kilometers in a 100 zone. Get down to the mountains, the climbs and the downhills, they're going 80 kilometers. So on the flatter areas, they're 20 kilometers slower than me. On the mountains, they're about 40 kilometers faster than me. That's summer. In summer, the most things that delay you the most is RVs and construction. In the winter, it's slippery roads and spinning out. Lake looks pretty gray. See some smoke coming from some buildings, so they're using some wood heating. Must be a little bit of a cool morning. So this pro-revenge story. Someone was stealing his firewood over and over and over. His firewood keeps getting stolen. So he decides to grab a saw drill, one of those circle saw drills, and drill a hole in his firewood. Filled it up with gunpowder and then capped it back on and put some glue on it. Nice pieces of firewood, perfect to be stolen. So the gunpowder won't go bang inside of a log like that, but it sure will shoot some serious flames. All of a sudden, one of his neighbors was getting a brand new stove installed in his house. His old one melted right down. Almost started the house on fire. Now he knew who was stealing from him, and nobody ever stole his firewood again after that. Hilarious. Dangerous, but hilarious. Don't steal other people's stuff. You don't know where it's been. That was kind of funny. See where we catch up with you again further down the road. Maybe Carameus again. It's always a fun town to go through, which I rarely record. Milkamine Valley. Headed northbound, but technically it's westbound on Highway 3. section of highway is definitely a lot of work. Not much room for forgiveness. Don't want to make a mistake. Highway 3 in general is not very forgiving. Not room to make any real errors. But it is beautiful. It's Thursday and they're saying the weekend is supposed to be sunny. I'm like, I don't know about this. It's not looking too promising. The weather could change fast though, I guess. So we'll see tomorrow. Coaster's done. Zoom cruise control. Feet off the pedals and just get to enjoy the ride for a few minutes. Someone was talking about when you drive a manual transmission after driving a full day, you're exhausted driving through the mountains and through cities. Driving an automatic, you still have some energy to do stuff after you're done driving. So there are some advantages to these automatics. They are less work. Man, there's a lot of bugs. I'm getting plastered. That is making streaky. Clouds are kind of beautiful, actually. A little stormy-ish. Got the AC going full tilt in here. On the warm side, with the sun beating down on me. Starting to get a really good trucker's tan. Trucker's tan is when your left arm is more tan than your right arm. said Organic Capital of Canada, Costin. I wonder if that's true. Some farmers in the Okanagan, a little further north, have lost all of their cherry crops. It was a very cold couple of days in January and then a really cold spell in the spring that stunted all the growth of the cherries, and none of them are coming to full-size cherries, and they're not high enough grade to sell in any kind of market. So pretty much some of the farmers have full loss of their cherries. So it's not a very good year. It was a poor harvest last year and a poor harvest this year. A lot of bicyclists. I think it's farm workers. They got a lot of bales. A huge bale industry over here. A lot of alfalfa grass mixed. There's a trucking company, a place at a Costin here, that pretty much their specialty is just bales. It's got a bunch of trucks out there and all they do is chip bales across the country and into the US. Pick up bales from the US. Another company in Summerland that specializes in bales. Wouldn't be a horrible job. Bales are pretty light. I think this house here on the corner would be a cool house to live in. There used to be a police department, the RCMP, and Now the RCMP is right next door. So this brick building coming up right here on the right hand side. That used to be a police station. The police station is now here. Kind of cool to live in a police station. Keep some of the rooms still looking the old way. Keep the old cells, the old lock-up cells and stuff. Come on. Come on. Some people using their signal lights way too late. Sorry car, you're coming up pretty quick. Did not see you coming.
500 meters. Turn right on 7th Avenue.
They're turning off as well, so never mind. Fire hall here on the left-hand side, the red building. The old log building has actually got some old fire equipment in it. It used to sit out in the open, but then it got vandalized. So they built a nice log museum feel to it. Big open garage doors at the front that they can open. Are you guys crossing? No, just standing at a crosswalk. I don't like people like you. Don't stand at the crosswalk.
Continue on 7th Avenue.
At least I was stopped all the way there. It drives me even more nuts when people stand at a crosswalk over here. I'm going at 50 kilometers per hour and all of a sudden I see someone standing there, so I come to a stop, they look at me all funny like, what are you stopping for? I'm stopping for you. You're standing to cross the road. Happens actually quite often. A weekly occurrence. I won't say daily, but a weekly occurrence where someone's standing around the crosswalk and I slow right down and it's like, oh wait, they're not actually intending to cross. Jess isn't with, or else I'd offer to stop at a fruit stand. I'm not big into fruit, so we'll save that when Jess is with me. Maybe we'll come here on the weekend. The weather's beautiful, do some quadding over here. What are you doing, car? sign says caution bighorn sheep. They're here. I used to live here, and they're definitely here, but you don't see them off on the road ever. They're always higher up in the mountain. I've never seen them next to the road or on the road. They're on both sides of the mountain, so I'm assuming they cross the road every now and then, but I have yet to see them on the road. Beautiful Manning Park. Ran into one of my buddies up there at Sunday Summit. He's catching up behind me. He's bobtailing. So had a nice chat with him on the radio while we were cruising together. Yeah, his truck broke down yesterday. Or went into D-rate mode, engine lights and all that stuff, so he dropped his trailers off. Near Hope Slide. Got a tow back. That is bright. Now he's got a different truck bobtailing to get his trailers, and he'll bring his trailers, complete his run with those trailers, and then this corner, always have to slow down for it, because if you catch that center line, it's actually quite a deep rut. If your tire catches that coming around the corner, you're changing the full lane. If your tire touches the white line where the rut is, you're taking the full lane. It just grabs you. And if you're not ready for it, you'll take more than the full lane. You'll take that center lane as well. So it's in the summer, and I'm spending all of my Saturdays editing videos, because I've started going way too elaborate, and it's not that elaborate. The two camera videos are fun. I'll really enjoy doing them, but it takes a lot more work. So I'm thinking of changing the way I shoot videos. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll keep doing what I'm doing. Have once a week 2 camera videos. But Fridays are usually short days for me. I get home fairly early in the day. So I was thinking on Fridays I'll do one take Fridays. It's just one take. I'll still shoot a video. Might be 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes long. It won't be more than 30 minutes long, because then I have to start editing the videos. and just have a one take Friday. I know it's something that Trucker Josh did one take Wednesdays, but it makes more sense for me to do that on Friday because they're shorter days anyway, and sometimes there's not much to talk about or shoot on a Friday. So I think I'm going to try that. One take Friday, I can just upload that video as is, no editing, which means I only have to edit 4 videos instead of 5. Because it's so beautiful. If we're going to get a beautiful weekend, I don't want to spend the weekend at home editing videos when I could be out enjoying the beautiful weather. Saturday, Jess and I intend to do some quadding and kayaking, so I won't be editing videos. So my plan is to do the one take Fridays. When I come home Friday, I'll edit 2 of the videos on Friday. And then Saturday is just our day, and then Sunday I'll edit the other 2 videos and then post them online. Kind of my thinking right now. Not sure if it's going to work the way I'm planning, but that would make my weekends a little... I mean, when the weather is crappy and I'm stuck inside anyway, doing the video editing is no problem. The actual editing part's not that much work. It's rendering the video. It takes a long time for the computer to render the video. And I'm rendering them at higher quality than I used to. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed that, but the videos are much higher quality. I could render them a lot quicker, but then it would be low quality again, and I'm not willing to go backwards in quality. Why tap the brakes after passing me? Why? Why do people do that? I'm under the speed limit. You don't need to slow down to get to the speed limit. You didn't go over speed to pass me. People. Man, it is beautiful out here. I love Manning Park. Hopefully the video turns out as good as the experience I'm getting in real world. This is just so beautiful. Climbing fairly steep actually here. It's the Smilkameen River here, when it's still a small little river. Was that the last time we used to see the Smilkameen there? Let's take a look. Is this the Smilkameen again? Where's the last time we see Smilkameen? Yep, that's still the Smilkameen. Almost just a creek over here. I've often wondered what side, where does the Smilkameen start? To the east or to the west? The east is right of me and the west is left of me. We're pretty much headed straight north right now. Oh, gotta do a brake check, which means that would have been the last we saw the Smilkameen, I think. So the Smilkameen would start towards the west then. downhill from the brake check. So after the brake check, all the rivers flow the opposite direction. Oh, hang on. What is this? Is this the Smilkameen again? Ha! Smilkameen again. Okay, never mind. Smilkameen starts on the east. So that's going to go east up the mountains. And this is the highest point here. Every river after this flows the opposite direction. So Smilkameen flows southeast, and then the rivers that we see on the other side of the brake check flow southwest. That was interesting. Never seen that before. I changed the angle of the camera to get a little less sun into the lens. But as I started moving, one of the back trailer, the front axle on the back trailer, the wheel locked up for a second. So the tire slid for a second. That was really strange. I'll have to watch my mirrors more and see if that's an ongoing issue or not. Jess will be coming with me next week, if all goes to plan. If all goes to plan, Monday will be an interesting video too. Here's the Allison Pass summit, 1342 meters. Record this top section of Manning Park. If I record Manning Park, I always record the curvy, narrow roads around the cliff edge like that. And it's like, well, the rest of Manning Park's beautiful too. Or I'll record the section where 4-lane driving along the Smilkameen, where it's a big river. It's like, I should record this section too every now and then. That you're in your brakes. I've got all my corners planned out already. A safe distance, so I have the ability to slow down without overheating my brakes, just in case they do something silly. or 3 corners ago. If you want to come down the mountain as efficiently as possible, and you know the mountain, you can really plan out the corners ahead of time. So I was manually shifting while you were trying to do an automatic shift. Let's get some slow down here before we go down, because I don't know what you guys are planning. I just saw something on that RV that I hate. I see their gray water cap open. Hey, could you stay on your side of the road, please? Pretty steep downhill, but it's one of those hills that are angled at just the right angle that I can come down at full speed as long as I hit all my marks, and I still have the ability to slow down as long as I give myself space. That's why I was giving myself space behind that RV. Reasons you can come down at 100 is because there's a nice flat section here that's not nearly as steep downhill right before we have to slow down right to 50 kilometers per hour. The problem is guys come down this at 100 and don't realize that they've got corners coming up that you need to do 50 around. And then they roll over. I've seen 2 rollovers here in the last 2 years. So you want to hit 70 on these corners, but then you want to continue slowing down because the next corners are 50. And if you don't do it, you're going to roll over. Because you're coming in too fast, you feel the need to cut the corner, as I don't know if you can see the black lines there. People cut the corners and all of a sudden there's oncoming traffic, so you have to quickly swerve while going around a corner too fast, and over you go. Remember when I first started trucking, I took that hill a lot slower. You got to slowly learn which road you can go down at what speed with what kind of weight you have on the back. And once you know the road inside out, then you can make some pretty good time. But you don't want to get complacent either, because I've been driving 2.5 years. a lot of guys start getting complacent, and I'm going to have to make sure I work on that. It's like, I know what I'm doing. I know this mountain. I know exactly what I can go down this mountain. And all of a sudden, you're not paying enough attention because it's something you've done 100 times, and then you're rolling over as well. And these you want to hit 40. Basically the suggested speed, they're good speeds. Definitely want to hit those speeds. You don't want to go faster than those. Well, we're getting close to those curvy sections that I guess it's still several miles, but the cliff section, we'll share that again another day. And hopefully by the time I get to Sunshine Valley near Hope Slide there, my buddy's got his trailers attached, and we can chat again for a couple of minutes as we're within range of each other. So, thank you. Love all the comments. Keep them coming. Let me know if you hate the idea or love the idea of One Take Friday. You guys okay with the idea? Would prefer more video? I've been trying different things, but of course the more I try, the more work I'm doing on a weekend, and in the summer I'd really like to enjoy my weekend. So let me know. Let the comments roll in. And while I'm waiting for the comments, I'll let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed. See you tomorrow.